What's up,
I may or may
everyone?
not have just been yelling in the mic.
Right, you were.
He said he couldn't hear me, and I was like, "Bah, bah, 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 bah."
Scared me.
Were you scared?
I was scared.
You should be scared.
I was afraid for my life. Christine, what's happening?
You were
How's it
afraid?
going?
Did you really just say you're afraid for your life?
I did. I was afraid for my
That
life.
was funny.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Coffee Table Chronicles. It is Thursday, March 28th. Oh my God, how time flies. Yeah. Welcome to all you rumblers out there.
I was talking with somebody today, and I was like, "It's literally going to be Christmas." Like,
why would you even say that? Good Lord. Like that. Are you in rare form tonight?
What?
Are you in rare form tonight?
No, I'm okay.
No, you're good? Okay.
My dog's looking for you in the studio.
I know she is. She went in there.
Ma'am.
Well, guys, we have a busy show tonight, and it's gonna kind of be all over the place because I've been out of town for the last 3 days, so I didn't have much prep time. But we got some videos to share with you tonight. Talk about some different topics that what's been going on in the world. Right? Exactly.
Cheers.
Cheers. I know a lot of times we deliver topics that may be, a week behind, but we don't do a podcast every day, so we don't have a chance to talk about it like Dan Bongino and people like that who do a show.
No, we have to have a real job.
We have to have a real job. We're not at that point yet. But hey, maybe someday we will be.
I know you want to be a podcasting husband.
I do. I really do. I want to do this. Although, I think the way the world's going and the way things are going, we're not going to have this podcast much longer.
No, I don't think there's going to be a lot of luxuries that we're going to have much longer.
Yeah, it's kind of.
So there's that.
A little bit on the scary side. Welcome to all you rumblers tonight. Did I say that? I hope so.
I think you have like 3 times. Hi, rumblers.
I know, hi, rumblers.
Again, are you in rare form?
I am in rare form tonight, so I'm kind of fired up. I've been, I had 2 long plane rides.
This is what happens
week,
when you watch YouTube when you're stuck in airports all day long.
And that's what I did. I watched a lot of videos this week, saw a lot of stuff happening. I figured we should bring it to you and have a discussion about it because that's what we do on this show.
Now you're all riled up.
Right.
Good job.
Before we start, let's give a shout out to our sponsor, Americano Ammunition Coffee. Best coffee in Arizona. We got to reach out to them again. We haven't talked to them in a while. I know. It's been a while. But yeah,
that's because I've been trying not to buy that next picture.
Oh, I know.
Which is that. That's why I can't even go.
But it's almost over. You only have 2 days
I know. That's why I can't go.
I'm telling you.
I mean, they make it for me all the time. So it doesn't matter.
But hey, you can't order this online. But if you do want to try their coffee, by all means, go to AmmoandCoffee.com and get yourself a bag of their coffee.
I mean, you never know.
Because you never know what.
You could just fly out here and buy some coffee.
You could, but that'd be a little bit tough for people to do, I think. But you never know. Could be.
There are crazy people out there.
Another shout out to our friends at PTP, Practical Tactical and Prep. For all your prepping needs and the way the world's going again, I highly suggest you start preparing yourself.
I was just in there.
You were just in there. Did you buy anything?
No, I was very good.
You were very good. Okay.
Although Aaron was like, you could just pay me for this ammo later. And I was like, shut up, Aaron. Do you want me to get in trouble?
You need something new. Anyway.
I know they just got the 410s in.
And
they're really nice. They have there's big bullets behind like in front of the buckshot.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
I was like,
Nice. Well,
and of course, my question is, how many do I have to buy to get a discount?
Exactly.
Because he knows I'm going to do it.
Well, if you go down to the store or you go to practacprep.com, you can use promo code PTP holster for 10% off any holster, $29.99 and up, or use promo code PTP mag and get 5% off any mag, $29.99 and up. So go stop in if you're local, go say hi to them, or go check out their website. They have a lot of really cool stuff.
I'm sure they'll give you that discount if you tell them in the store.
Mention Coffee Table Chronicles and I'll give it to you.
And then ask them how many you have to buy to get a discount.
Exactly.
And they'll be like, oh God, you've been talking to Lindsay.
And our good friend, Mr. Eddie Press, the State 48 plates for body armor. All your body armor needs, if you wonder why you need body armor, well, maybe you should have it because you want to have it and not need it. And rather than need it, not
ours is really dusty right now, which is exactly what Eddie would like.
Yes, exactly. To just hang in a closet and not be used.
Yeah.
Go check him out at www.state48plates.com and mention CTC Patriot and get 10% off, which is a huge savings.
Oh, huge for him.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's really awesome. Also, go check out our website, ctcpatriot.com. I have all our links to our partners on here. Also, it has some additional items on there. We have some t-shirts for sale, and we also have my dad's books on there for sale. So go check it out. It's a cool website. It's got links to all our shows, just kind of centralized place to catch the best of CTC.
The best of CTC.
The best of CTC, right?
That's pretty good.
We are also, let me try that again. We are also on Spotify and Apple Podcast. We are building our following on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So if you are an Apple Podcast or Spotify listener and you want to, catch us in your car, wherever you might be going, go give us a look and like us and share it and follow us.
We're going to say an Apple podcaster.
Podcast, I guess.
I
don't know.
You just had to split all that out.
Like I said, it's been
better?
one of those days. I've had literally a day to prep for the show.
You are literally, was it even a day? Because I'm pretty sure you started at like 10 a.m.
Yeah, well, there's that. It does happen. All right, we got a few memes.
So good luck, y'all. Who knows where we're going to end up?
Oh, we're going to end up in some good places.
Some rabbit holes. Jack's going to be sad he missed it.
Yeah, well, Jack's going to be back on next week. So
Jack had to actually do something to get paid for. We don't pay him.
He had a gig tonight.
So he had to get paid.
Good for him. Happy for him.
I know.
Yeah.
And we can't go watch him because we're here.
We're here. So, yeah. All right, we got a few memes, not a whole lot tonight because I definitely want to start getting to our topics because there's a lot to talk about. So here's our first meme. And this is so true because I've watched a lot of podcasts that talk about this. So I hope we beat the Braves today. Oh boy, I wouldn't have said that. Look, Trump wishes physical harm to Native Americans.
Well, yeah. Haven't you played telephone before?
Yeah. Well, not only that, it's the whole January 6th thing. They're still trying to say that he incited violence by his speech.
Oh, of course.
And it's just,
it was a very violent speech.
they're just not letting it go at this point. Yep. Our
All
good
I
friend
know about-
Buttigieg.
Oh, is that Buttigieg?
Yep.
Man, I miss his face.
All I know about transportation is I've been rear-ended quite a few times. Come on, that's funny.
Did you really put that up there?
I really did. I thought it was a great meme.
That's at least it wasn't a stop sign.
I saw this today and it was great. Never forget what they did in the name of science. And this is sad that this actually freaking happened. I've heard stories of where that happened.
There a mask on the end of the flute too?
I don't know. Is there?
Because your air's going out that end.
I don't know what that probably is. That what that blue thing is on the
so.
end? God help us all.
Right?
Yep.
Wow.
God help us all.
Yeah, science had a lot to do with that.
Right.
Yep.
This is great. So I actually have a video on this. So Joe Biden says he's commuted over the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore many times via train. The problem is the bridge features no train tracks. I watched that. I watched Dan Bongino.
There are things that,
Yeah.
make you go.
I watched Bongino the other day and he was mentioning that
Good job, Christine. Were you wearing your shirt?
Right. Hopefully that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Bongino was talking about every time a catastrophe happens, Biden always has to he always has to reference something that happened in his life that was associated to what just happened. And it's
called Alzheimer's.
It's so true. It's called I Need Attention.
Well, of course, we have to look at the distraction over here.
Yeah. So that is the first topic we'll talk about tonight is the Francis Scott Key Bridge.
With the train on it?
I'm sure everybody's heard the story
I've ridden
by
that
now.
train hundreds of times.
Right, of course. The bridge did in fact collapse. It was ran into by a freighter. There's a lot of stories out there. There's a lot of conspiracies out there.
So did it hit one of the legs?
It hit one of the columns. Yeah, just right into the column.
Just massacred it.
And the thing is, people don't realize, there's all kinds of theories going back and forth saying that this was conspiracy. It was purposely done this way. If you watch the video, the ship loses power a couple of times. And if anybody's ever driven a boat, any kind of a boat, even a small boat in your life, you realize that they do not turn on a dime.
No, once you're kind of going, you're kind of going.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough. In a vessel that big, it's tough to turn it.
Is she heavy?
Does the video look like it was purposely steered into the bridge? Of course. If you look at it from a certain angle, I'm sure it looks that way. But
we've all seen those videos where the mama lion's carrying. It's all perspective.
Exactly. And I honestly think that this was just an unfortunate accident
situation.
that happened. Yeah, they lost control of the ship and it went into the bridge.
What do you even do at that point? You're like, here we go. Hold on, y'all. Like,
right. And by the time they realized it, by the time the power came back on, it was too late. They couldn't steer away from it. So unfortunate, it's definitely going to have an economic impact. It's a big trade route. It's a big,
that's going to stop
back and forth.
Not only just the people on the bridge, but everything going through there.
Yeah. And like Biden said, don't worry, the taxpayers are going to pay to rebuild the bridge. So, you're good to go. So here's that video. I want to play that video of what Biden's saying, that he crossed over the bridge on a train. I thought that was kind of funny, just to back up that meme.
1:30, container ship struck the Francis Scott Key Bridge, which I've been over many, many times commuting from the state of Delaware on a train or by car. Been in Baltimore Harbor many times.
Yep, by train or by car.
Now, if you just said by car, it'd be believable, right? Yeah. I mean, nowhere.
Or just said commuting too. Yeah. Done. You don't need to say how you got there.
Yeah, I unfortunately, I don't see any train tracks, even leading up to the bridge.
No.
Maybe I'm missing something, but maybe it was under the road. I don't know. I doubt it, but I think he's just full of shit and just has to be the center of attention.
I think he's just trying to, pretend like he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, well, that too.
So, cheers. Is
that'll forever 85? Is that Andrea Arthur? No,
I don't think so.
I don't think so. They wouldn't change. They wouldn't change their name.
No, I'm like, I don't.
Well, welcome to the show.
Cheers.
Yeah. So that's.
I don't. What do you even?
What?
Nobody wants to say, hey, there's not a train track on this bridge.
Oh, he's been called out left and right on it. I mean, everybody's been posting that video, making fun of him, by what he said. So.
And you're the guy running the country and you want to do it again for another 4 years?
Yes.
Because you're competent now?
Yes.
Another
topic that was big in the news that, is going to kind of tie. There's Heavy Metal Beer Club.
Yeah. Hey.
Oh, she forgot to switch accounts. Okay.
Oh, that's why I was like, it could be.
Yeah, I was like, wait a second.
I think I've seen that name. Hi, guys. We miss you.
Yeah, we miss you guys. Next topic I want to kind of bring up, because it's really going to play into some of the other videos that I have tonight to share.
We are on a squirrel.
We are. We definitely are. I actually made show notes. That's a first.
I see that. It's freaking me out.
Just to keep myself kind of in order here.
I know. So we don't. Well, you're going to show a video at the end like you do to Jack and just throw the whole thing off the rails.
I'm going to show you a couple of videos tonight that's going to throw the whole thing off the rails. So don't worry about that.
At least we're not going to do it just at the end.
So, of course, our border's back in the news again.
Did it go away?
It didn't really go away, but for most people it did. I mean, I was talking to people in Florida when I was in Florida a couple of days ago, and they're like, we really don't know what's going on in Arizona.
Because they don't see it. They don't hear it. It's stopped.
They know what they're dealing with on their end, but they have their own set of border issues too. They have,
they always have
Cuba. They have, they have people coming in over there. So, but and if you haven't seen the video, I'm going to play it right now.
Please, because I don't know what you're talking about.
The migrants rushing the border. Did you see that one? Okay. So yeah, I'll play the video and then we'll talk about it. But we don't have a border problem.
No, totally cool.
There's nothing wrong with the border. It's funny, when I first came across that video, I thought it was from another country when I first looked at it originally, and then I quickly realized, oh shit, that's
us
our
here.
Border.
So why? So I want to know ports of entry. Yes, but this is literally where Texas put their fences up, right?
So this was at El Paso.
Yeah, where they put their fences up.
Yeah.
I want to know why nobody pulled the trigger.
That's just scary though. It's scary, to think there's.
I don't know why nobody pulled the trigger.
Because
you have that many people rushing at you. You don't know what they have. You don't know what's in their hands.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Arthur, but doesn't the government essentially prevent you guys from doing that? I mean, you can't just shoot them, right? I mean,
what if they're running through stabbing you? You don't know what they have.
I mean, I guess that's a different story, but. And thank God they ran into the wall that Trump built, right? Of course, I don't know if Trump built that wall. I'm just saying, I'm just making a joke, but it probably was. I'm sure it was part of the wall.
Probably.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, it's just scary. It's scary what's going on.
And the thing is like you said, exactly, nobody is seeing this. Nobody's seeing this, that it's happening. So that video needs to be shown and needs to be shared. Because like you said, in Florida, nobody knows that's happening.
Right.
That's not going to go anywhere else farther than that.
And I'm sure in most parts of the country, people don't know what's happening at our southern border.
No.
I mean,
you have Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, some of California, and it pretty much ends there.
So
even northern Texas might not even know about it.
Well, I'm sure they do. I'm sure they've heard about it on the news.
You know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't know.
I'm talking about like you go to Minnesota,
Nebraska.
You go to Nebraska. Yeah,
nobody's going to know about it.
States like that, they're not going to know what's going on. They have no idea.
But what if like your finger just slipped, Arthur?
See, you can't use lethal force.
But what if your finger slipped?
The thing
would be like the poor guy who beat the migrant immigrants.
The thing is, the big problem is there's no deterrent keeping them from doing
those guys are standing there. Why? You think somebody's yelling at you, you're just going to walk away?
Yeah.
Why even stand there?
Well, I mean, it would have been a whole different story if they would have got through that second fence, I'm sure. But
they probably did. We don't know.
Yeah. The video just ends there. So.
Yeah.
But I was watching a couple of other podcasts this week and they were talking about, they brought up some, great comments. And, there was just a terror attack. I think it was in Russia, where 4 guys with AKs went in and killed like 130 people.
Mm-hmm.
And when you put that in perspective, right? 4 guys did this. We have millions coming across the border, millions of people. And the idea that there's
now they can have guns legally.
Right. And we're paying for them. We're paying for them to be here.
Giving them money.
The idea that all those people that were coming into our country, the idea that there's not possibly a terrorist cell, which they prove that there are.
We know
there are
terrorist
cells in there. That should scare the hell out of every American at this point.
And they're just chill. No worries. Like it's not a big deal. It's not, nobody cares about it.
And Dad, to be honest with you, that's why I bring these videos up. It's not to rehash old news. Okay, Moscow, thank you. It's not to rehash old news. It's just I'm hoping that as people pick up our show, they see this stuff that maybe they're not exposed to on a daily basis. Again, I know it happened over a week ago, but it's still, people need to think about
That's still happening today, though. That's the problem, is just because those people rush through there, those amount of people are still coming through the border every day.
Yeah, that's just one time. That's one time we caught it on
one video thing. But that amount of people, those 100 people are doing this right now, hourly, daily.
Yep. Yeah. I would love to go to the border. I would really love to go see it. I'd love to go. And Arthur, I don't know if there's something we could do.
Arthur, you can go with him because I might not use lethal.
No, but I would love to go and see it for myself. I'd love to go video it because there's a lot of people videoing the border. I mean, but
pick a spot.
We're coming up on election time, right? And my God, if people aren't waking up yet to what's going on, that's scary. Mm-hmm. And I didn't look at the latest poll results from the primary. I don't know where Trump and Biden sit, but I know the last numbers I looked at.
You want it for everybody or just
do Arizona just for the hell of it, because we know Arizona is a big deal. But the thing that's scary is the last time I looked, the numbers were very close between Trump and Biden. And, the conversation always comes up, and I know Lindsay and I don't agree on this, but the conversation comes up that if Trump doesn't win by a landslide, he's not going to win because they're going to cheat their way through it. And I've heard a couple of people say,
it's already started.
I'm sure it has. And I'm sure people would disagree with me by saying if he would win by a landslide, Lindsay says it wouldn't even get to that point. They would shut it down long before it got to be a landslide. But if it was a landslide, I don't think they could cheat their way through it. But if it's a margin, a small margin, like I think it is now, they can easily find those votes. They can easily
That's what I'm saying. You start on the East Coast, and of course, everything's going to the polls are going to close over there before they close over here. Before we even get to a landslide, they're going to shut everything down. Oh, look, Arizona had an issue. California had an issue. All the other states on the West Coast had an issue, and now surprisingly, he's won because it took you 8 weeks to get the polls numbers over.
We should take the F. I would be up for it. I mean, I'd rather not go to the dangerous places if possible.
You have Arthur; he'll save you.
But I wouldn't mind going to see it for myself and taking some video.
Me and Andrew will sit at the house and drink.
I think it's important for people to see. People need to get the gist of what's going on. You watch it on the news and you kind of blow it off as another news story, but to see how it really impacts a state, especially a state like Texas, Arizona, even California. As much as I dislike California, we're all being affected by it negatively. And, Texas right now is the only ones that are standing up and doing something about it. And that's, it's frightening. It really is frightening. And, and it doesn't stop at these states. We're carting them off to other states. I mean, New York, California.
And they're going on their own too. We're giving them how much money?
Yeah, exactly.
No, says Andrea. Oh, the boys can go, Andrea. We'll stay here. Yeah, but they show it on the news daily for 3 seconds, and there's no context behind it. But again, that's here. But nobody else is seeing it.
But that brings up another point too, Arthur. Though the fact that it's being shown on the news every day,
it's the fear tactic. It's just going to be washed away, and it's going to mean nothing.
Well, it's going to mean nothing because are people becoming? It's kind of like COVID, like the death ticker. For how long did they show that? And eventually, people stopped paying attention to it. It just became noise in the background. Yep. And is that what it's going to become?
That's what it has become.
This. I mean, that's the scary part.
So you ready for your numbers?
Yeah.
So Trump has 43 delegates.
Okay.
He has 78% out of the Republicans, because that's how it works.
Right.
He has a total of 491,913 votes in Arizona.
400,000?
491,913 votes.
Okay.
Biden has 72 delegates.
Okay.
So 43 to 72.
Okay.
He has 374,960 votes.
So Trump doesn't have that much of a lead.
He has 120,000. But why does Biden have 72 delegates and Trump only has 43 if Trump has 120,000 more votes?
We talked about the delegates last time, though. That's different.
They choose what they fucking want, but the delegates are the ones that make your choice for your state. It doesn't come down to the actual voters. It goes to the delegates. So if the delegates are already choosing him over Trump when Trump has more numbers, how does that make sense?
Yeah, I tried to get an understanding of how the delegates worked. I really didn't. I mean, Jack tried to explain it last time on the show. But it's just like I said, that small of a margin is nothing.
120,000, yeah.
And that's scary for our state.
But that's what they'll do. They'll smush it in real quick. Somehow Arizona will have, 500,000 more voters than they actually have in the state.
Yeah. Very scary. Very scary. And I'm going to show you another video that just scared the shit out of everybody. So I don't know if everybody heard about the story in New York, the lady who got arrested for kicking the squatters out of her house.
You can't do that.
But they were squatters.
Doesn't matter.
I
can't do it here.
But here's the thing. There's a video that was released on TikTok by an illegal urging people to take over houses. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
So
they can't kick you out.
I'm going to play this video. And if this doesn't piss people off and scare the shit out of people, I don't know what will at this point. So here it is. I'll play it. This is from another podcast because I couldn't find the actual TikTok video, but it's been all over podcasting. But here it is.
He pensado invadir una casa en United States, ya que me enteré que existe una ley que dice que si una casa no está habitada, podemos expropiarla. Capichi, muchachos, aquí en United States también se aplica la de invasión de terreno. Y creo que ese será mi próximo negocio. Invadir casas abandonadas. Ya que me he buscado unos códigos con mis amigos africanos y me dijeron que ya llevan como 7 casas expropiadas. Y como dice el dicho, papi, hay que buscar la vuelta. Y la vuelta ahorita mismo es invadir casas, ya que nos encontramos en situación de calle y es la única manera que tenemos para no vivir en la calle y no ser una carga pública. Capichi, la ley dice que las casas abandonadas, deterioradas y que esté en mal estado, podemos llegar y repararlas, vivir en ellas y si podemos venderlas, hasta pedir crédito.
I mean, so let me ask you this. So what happens if you have, let's say you have a summer home, okay? 6 months out of the year, that home is
What
empty.
happens to my house downtown?
Right.
If I'm in between renters.
Right.
Oh, you can imagine what would happen to my house.
Right. I know what happened. Yeah. You would go to jail. You don't
I'd
have
be
to
like,
go
oh,
to
I'm
jail.
totally fine with that. I'd go to jail for murder because I would have shot everybody in the damn house.
I mean, and that's what's going to start to happen. That you're going to start to see violence
It's
like
gonna
that
happen.
I mean, and there's laws protecting that.
But unfortunately, so the law actually says that somebody who's been there over 30 days and hasn't paid their rent is now a squatter, not just somebody who shows up. So you have to, again, I don't know if that's different by state, but in Arizona, they can't do that. And that looks like a nice little country town that he's in, doesn't it?
Yeah. Right. But they're urging people to do this.
Of course they are.
And they're using the excuse that they don't want to
Go
be.
to Chicago. Half those fucking houses are torn down and abandoned anyways. You can have those.
And what they're saying, they're using the excuse that they don't want to be a burden on the public by being out in the streets. So they're going to go invade houses and take over houses.
And you're going to have no water and everything else.
then-
So how are you going to piss?
Then the idea is they could turn around, fix it up and sell it and make all that money off the house.
They
So
can't sell it. It's not in their name.
I don't know.
That's stupid. I can't sell your house next door.
They're stealing titles all over the place.
Well, yeah, you can
I
steal
mean,
titles
you
all day
know.
long, but you can do that in the house or not in the house.
Right.
And
But-
that's easy.
But my thing is, if so, again, your rental house, or if you have a house, a vacation house. We had a house in Florida, let's say, and
Yeah.
it was empty 6 months out of the year. Squatters can go in there, take over the house. All they have to do is go get a cell phone, give them that address, right? Tell them to
Nope.
send the bill to that
Nope,
address.
so it has to be a utility for that house. But
That's
you
a
can
utility.
turn utilities on. No, a phone's not a utility. Not a cell phone.
Is that
It has
in
to
every
be-
state?
I don't know. Arizona, water or power. It can't even be cable or a cell phone bill or any other mail. It has to be that because that's how I kicked mine out.
Hmm.
'Cause
I don't know
everything
if
was
that's
still
every
in my
state
name.
though.
I
Because
don't know if
why did
that's
she
every
get
state.
arrested?
Huh?
Why did she get arrested? It was
Why did she
it
get
was her
arrested?
house. They
Hmm.
broke into her house. She went in to kick him out,
Oh, I don't know what you're
and
talking
they
about.
called the lady in New York.
Oh, I don't know.
So
You're
she-
giving me a whole
There
nother.
were
I was like,
squatters
who got
that
arrested?
went into her house.
You're
She,
talking about
she
New
showed
York.
up, tried to kick him out. Right? They call the cops saying that they're being unlawfully removed from the house, and they arrested her. They arrested her.
I don't know the whole story. I don't know what she did. I don't know if she threatened him. I don't know anything else like that.
If I came home and found somebody in my house, you bet your ass I'm going to threaten them. They don't
Oh, you
belong-
bet
they
your
don't
ass
belong-
I'm
they don't
gonna
belong
whoop
in
your
my
ass
house.
and tie you up and call the cops and they can take you away.
I mean, it doesn't.
So
make
I would be
sense.
going to jail as well as them, but they'd be down my house.
Well, then you have to sell your house to pay for your bail.
My bail's not that much. I got a bail fund. We're good. What you're talking about? Again, if I murder them, then you can just have the house. That's fine.
It's just scary that the illegals
But even
are
if you
causing
have
these
alarms,
problems.
so even if you have an alarm on your house and your
Yeah.
house is alarmed while you're out and your alarm goes off and somebody's in there, there has to be a period of time that they've stayed there. It can't just be instantly. Like, oh, I have squatter rights. No, bitch, you just walked in.
I don't know if every state's the same though. I
I'm
don't know
gonna
if
have
they
to
all have
look
the same
this
laws.
up. Like,
I'm sure every state has its own set of laws. when it
'Cause ours
comes
has to be
when it comes to
like-
property rights.
30 days or whatever, and then you're considered like it's your house.
Yeah.
You can't just show up and then call you. Like,
I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, obviously for her, it didn't work out so well.
but again, I don't know what she did. Like, I'm
Right.
gonna play devil's advocate. I don't know what she did. Did she do a bunch of stuff? Was she trying to physically throw him out? That could be why she went to jail. Do we know why she went to jail? Because she was trying to kick him out. But I can tell you right now, there would be physical harm.
But we shouldn't even be talking about this. This shouldn't even be a problem.
She should have called the cops before she even got
I'm not
there.
even talking about that. I'm talking about the fact that there's
People are
fuckheads
squatting?
like
People have been
this
squatting all the
on.
time.
Not for years, they haven't.
Oh, yeah, they have.
No,
not
bullshit.
like this.
Not
Not,
like
the
this.
illegals coming over the road.
And putting it out on TikTok to where he's got several
Oh, of
million
course.
followers, urging people to do this.
And you know people are going to listen because they're sick of sleeping on the streets too.
And you're going to see people rise up.
And they got
have
their
enough.
free Biden phones and all of everything else.
This is a plan. This is a recipe for disaster. It really
Oh,
is.
absolutely. Because what's going to happen in the neighborhood when you have a house going up for sale and now you
Right.
have squatters in it?
Right. This is gonna trigger some bad stuff if this continues.
You know, at least we thin the herd. Maybe people just need to start whacking people off.
I don't know. I don't know if I would have put it exactly in those terms, but you know,
I was wondering how long that was
taking
gonna take
them
you.
out, maybe. You know,
I was wondering how long that was going to take. I was trying to keep a straight face.
I'm sure you were.
I was like, yeah, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, that's
See,
scary.
I was like,
That's a little scary though.
I mean, you can do that too. Maybe they get out of your house. Or you can just treat him like Buttigieg would.
Yeah, what a waste. What a waste. They say it's going to take 10 years to rebuild the bridge, probably. Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, that's a long time.
I mean, it really does take a shit ton of time.
It does.
What the hell now, where does this bridge go? Is there any other places? I don't even know where this bridge is, so that's how terrible I am about it. What's on the other side of the bridge? Is there any other way to get there?
I think it goes in, doesn't it? It goes into Boston, doesn't it?
I don't know.
From
What
there?
bridge is this?
Francis Scott Key Bridge. If I had time to research that, I would have researched that.
I don't
but
know.
didn't.
Like,
I didn't have time
honestly, we're going to go to
research
Google
where it is.
Maps.
Yeah, take a look at it.
Google Map. Let's map her. What is it, Francis?
Francis Scott Key.
CIS. Francis Scott Key
Bridge. Yeah. Does anybody in the audience know?
Bridge.
Dad, you got to know. You know geography.
Francis Scott Ski Bridge.
it should be there. I don't think that's it.
Yeah, I don't think that is either. That's not in the water. I was like, there's no water right there.
That's not it.
Oh, it's here. Oh, okay. So it's temporarily closed. Sorry. That's not.
Don't think so. Don't think so.
So you just have to go around. So it's
Does it go into Boston though? Where's it
I
going
don't know.
to?
I don't know.
I thought it went into Boston Harbor.
It goes over the Papatasco River. Whatever the fudge that is. But it's not like it's going to an island where there's no other way to get there.
Right.
You just have to go the long way now. So you got to go down the other way and go across the, I don't know, whatever bridge that is. The 895. So it goes into it's the Papascanto. Pat, shut up. I'm concentrating.
I see that you're concentrating.
Patapsco. Patapsco.
Tapsco?
Yeah. Key Bridge. River.
English 101 with Lindsay right now. There you go. But where does it go? What city?
I don't know what you mean. It goes into whatever the fuck city that is.
You have a map.
Delaware.
Okay,
it doesn't show
but it goes from Delaware to where?
It doesn't. It stays in the city. It doesn't go anywhere else. It's in whatever the fuck that is.
Okay. We're gonna
I don't know states and shit.
We're gonna put that to rest.
I'm like an awful person.
I honestly don't know where it goes. I didn't do any research to see where it goes. I've heard of the
It's
bridge.
south of New Jersey.
Okay.
Whatever state that is. South of Philadelphia.
So Pennsylvania.
Could be.
So Delaware to Pennsylvania?
It stays in one state. It's no state to state.
Oh, okay. So
it's in the middle of the city.
So Delaware to Delaware.
Sure. No, Delaware's over here. It's whatever that is. Where the fuck is this? What's the address? Temporarily closed. I get it.
Baltimore City and Baltimore County. Thank you.
MD. What does MD?
That's Maryland.
Maryland. It's in Maryland.
Okay.
Maryland to Maryland.
Then that'd be Baltimore then.
Sure.
So Dad was right then. Baltimore
Thank you,
City
Dad.
to Baltimore County. Okay.
Yeah, it goes from there to there. The river goes in and it's the farthest bridge out. So we're still good. I mean, it sucks. You got to drive farther, but shit happens.
Are we done with that little geography lesson though?
Yeah. Papatagado River. Papatag.
Lindsay would never survive back east because it's all names she couldn't pronounce.
You should have seen me in anatomy class. Holy Lord. I was like, I don't know what it is. I can spell it for you. Don't make me say it.
All right. So the topic tonight's show is Dumb and Dumber. So we're talking about AOC and Dan Goldman.
Who's that?
Who is interviewing Tony Bobulinski, and it's about the whole Hunter Biden thing. He's a Democrat, as you probably guessed already.
That wouldn't surprise me.
But AOC said something so stupid. Not that that's a surprise.
That doesn't surprise me neither.
But again, just want to point out that these are the imbeciles that are running our country at this point. What does Mama Cat say?
I don't know.
Yeah, there is plenty of that. She is an idiot.
Oh, I was like, I don't know. Is she talking about my English? I'm not very good at it.
Let me find that video here. So check this video out. So she's interviewing Tony Bobulinski, and they're talking. She's asking him,
who's Tony Bobulinski?
So he's the one that went into business with Hunter Biden. He's the one that flipped on Biden.
Oh, okay.
So
he's his old buddy.
Yeah.
Okay, I got
partner,
you.
I guess,
His
ex-partner.
hookers and coke guy. I got you.
Hunter got rid of him for some reason. I'm not sure what the story was behind it, but he's kind of the whistleblower for the whole thing. What did you say?
He didn't like hookers and coke.
Oh, I don't know.
He's like, you don't keep up with the demand, sir. You need to leave.
So she's asking him, did you witness President Biden commit a crime? And here was the whole response.
Oh, I can't.
Is it your testimony today that you personally witnessed President Joe Biden commit a crime?
I believe the fact that he was sitting with me while I was putting together a business
Did you
deal,
witness the president commit a crime? Is it your testimony today?
Yes.
And what crime have you witnessed?
How much time do I have to go through it?
It is simple. You name the crime. Did you watch him steal something?
Corruption statutes, RICO and conspiracy.
What is it? What is the crime, sir?
You
Specifically.
You asked me to answer the question. I answered the question.
No.
RICO, you're obviously not familiar with. Corruption
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. RICO is not a crime. It is a category. What is the
It's a category
crime?
of crimes that you're then charged
You
under
have charges.
A long 100.
You have charges. Sir, please
Want me to name the exact statute
Sir,
under RICO?
yes.
Well, it's funny. In this committee room, everyone's not here. There's over 18
All right, sir. I reclaim my
lawyers
time.
that went to law school.
I
I'll leave
reclaim
it
my
up to
time.
you guys
Okay,
to
thank
define
you,
the
sir. I
statute
reclaim my
under
time.
RICO.
I love the look on your face.
So she asks a specific question. He answers the specific question. And then she's mad that he answered the specific question.
Well, she's trying to say that RICO's not a crime. And
he said more than just RICO.
Right, but
she had to focus on RICO because she was like,
But RICO it's a crime. There's a lot of crimes that fit into RICO, but
there's a lot of crimes that fit into murder, whether it's with a knife, whether it's with a gun, it's still murder.
It's a statute against organized crime is what RICO is. So if you read about it, there's like 30 something crimes that fit
under
into that category, but it's still a crime. And anybody Google RICO.
I am drinking.
What are you drinking? Yours.
Pineapple passion fruit. Aha.
She's staying sober tonight.
Because this guy's riled up.
I was hoping to get you riled up, but hasn't happened yet.
This is what crime, sir, are you committing? I reclaim my time. I reclaim my time. Bitch, you already used your time.
No, it's just funny how they have to, and I don't know if it's them filibustering, but they just I don't know.
Filibuster, that was a good word.
They're just trying. They try to get them not to talk. You know what I mean? They make their point. Like you said, you're asking me, I'm telling you.
And you're still not
but you're
okay
fucking
with
arguing with me is what I would have said. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. And not only that, I mean,
then she wouldn't even let him finish.
There's refutable evidence now. I watched one. There was another senator who produced images of the checks that were signed by Biden. Literally produced these images, and I wanted to put that video up there tonight, and I didn't. But there was one made out to Hunter Biden, endorsed by Joe Biden, and it had to do with their company. And it's like, but they're still trying to play around.
We're moving money.
Yeah,
nothing to see here. Nothing.
It's insane
to see.
My daughter Cheyenne says hi and hopes one day go out with you guys. That would be cool.
Hi.
See what everybody else is saying. You need a shot of vodka, yeah, probably.
I don't have any good flavored vodkas.
Racketeering, right? Racketeering, Influence, and Corrupt Organization Act. That's what RICO stands for. But if you, I mean,
I like RICO better.
So if you think about it, if you're committing any of those crimes within RICO is a crime then, right? If you're breaking RICO, you're breaking the law. You're committing a crime. Yeah,
But again, she didn't really get through law school, so you know.
Yeah, she was a bartender. So
there's that.
All right, so here's Dan Goldman interviewing Tony Bobulinski also, and this is about the big guy, you know, the 10% for the big guy, and this is just funny. This whole,
that guy's kind of a big guy.
This whole exchange is funny. So here, go and watch this one.
And 2 days later, Mr. Gilliar sent an email to you, CCing Rob Walker and Hunter Biden, in which he suggested a division of the company and included a proposal of, quote, 10% held by H for the big guy, ? You remember that, right?
The infamous email with the big guy? Yes,
Yeah.
I do.
Did anyone ever respond to that email?
Yes, they did numerous times.
Sorry.
Hunter Biden himself did.
Excuse me. You're right.
Well, no, I think that's important because Hunter Biden has claimed that he didn't respond to it, and he responded to it.
You're just going to filibuster. I reclaim my time that's running out, but I will say no one responded to the big guy reference for 10.
Thank you for making my point. They didn't have to respond because they all knew the big guy was Joe Biden.
I reclaim my time. Mr. Chairman, please control the witness. I would like to get a little extra time, Mr. Chairman, because I want to read what Mr. Gilliar said to the Wall Street Journal. Quote, I would like to clear up any speculation that former Vice President was involved with the 2017 discussions about our potential business structure. I am unaware of any involvement at any time of the former Vice President. The activity in question never delivered and project revenue. 9 days later,
Why is everybody recanting their time? Can't you just say what you want and either get your answer you want or not?
Well, it's funny because it seems like when they don't get the answer they want,
they recant their time.
And even at one point, he even said, you're right, okay. You know, and he continues on.
Because, of course, he wants to throw that under the bus and make whatever point he wants.
But it always seems like when they start to explain, like he was talking about that Hunter Biden replied to that email, he didn't want to hear it.
No, I don't know.
So he just tries to shut him up. And it's just.
And then we go on a distraction on something else. Of course, he didn't say that in 2017 because he was still fucking working for him. Why would you say that?
These are the people running the country, folks. And, you know, what they're putting poor Donald Trump through, right? Who they can't produce any evidence that he broke the law.
But they just want to keep throwing him to court and waste your money and waste your money and blah, 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 and waste your money. And look at this show here. And look at, he's been in court so many times. Yeah, because you keep making shit up. But
then they have irrefutable proof that this happened with Hunter, and they do nothing.
And Biden.
They do nothing about it.
Nobody cares.
They just want to sweep it under the rug.
Because Trump tweets mean.
But even so, I don't know.
Biden doesn't know what he's tweeting because he has Alzheimer's, but it's fine.
And I'm going to reach out to the audience because I did not hear this, but I've been seeing a lot of memes today. Did Trump's fine get reduced? Because all the memes are kind of leaning that direction. But you know,
I don't know.
The whole thing is they're trying to get him for buying property at a certain price and selling it at a large profit, which is not illegal by the way.
Hello, we do that all the time.
And the funny thing is like I was talking to my brother about this earlier, and I agree with him. He's saying The banks all profited from this.
Yeah.
So Mama Cat, yeah, they said it did. Arthur, everybody's saying it did, that it did get reduced. So good. So he's not going to lose his property at this point. I would imagine so.
Oh no, his bonds only cut to 175 million.
Oh, only 175
Totally
million. It's
Totally good.
You know, if you're successful, they want to demonize you. If you
Because
you know.
and this is the thing, just like the tax thing, everybody gets all upset. Well, he paid no taxes. Y'all wrote the shit. You've been using it for years, but you ain't gonna say anything, Pelosi and Buttigieg and every fucking buddy else. Nobody's gonna say anything until, oh, somebody's in trouble and, oh, you haven't paid any taxes. Y'all wrote it for you. Y'all didn't write it for us.
Well, the question is how many other rich people buy property as investment and they cash in on it?
How many
It happens
not
every
rich
day.
people and just normal people do it?
And
we
that's-
have friends who do it.
And that's a great point. So the point is now they do this with Trump. Who's next?
In all honesty, if they want to go after my rental property, I bought it for like nothing compared to what it's worth now.
Everybody else is next.
This house,
if they set the
we bought it
precedence,
for what it's not worth now.
right? If they set the precedence here, everybody else who owns
Isn't
property,
that kind of what you do? Is you buy low and sell high,
you're next on the chopping block. This is
right?
this kind
Everybody's house is worth different.
this kind of goes. Yeah, P Diddy. This
What's
kind of
with P Diddy? I don't even know what's going on. With
I don't
him.
know. I've been seeing a lot of stuff too, but
Something happened with
followed
him.
it.
I mean, I'm glad to see him back in the news. It's been a while.
But this kind of ties into that wealth tax that we talked about. It's the same thing. They're coming after your money.
Don't even get me
They want
started on
more
that.
money.
Why do you have to bring that up again? I've been doing so well.
Sorry, didn't mean to do that. Something is worth what somebody's willing to pay.
Yep.
If I want 100K for my car and someone's willing to pay it, exactly 100%.
It's your dumbass for buying it.
That is the beauty of our country, that we can do that.
We make things worth what they are. Nobody else does. We make them worth it. That Star Wars character or that truck or that gun isn't worth anything until I want it and I want it.
Right.
I'm going to make that price on it. Have we ever been to an auction? Hello.
Right. And then, to add insult to injury, didn't they send an adjuster out to the house in Mar-a-Lago, and they claimed it was worth like much less than what he sold it for or something like that. Or when they were looking at the,
I have probably.
what do you call that? When they go out and
like the appraisal?
the appraiser. Yeah. Yeah. It's just, it's an attack on him. But the problem is it's not going to stop with him.
No. Once they do it to him and it's in the public eye, we can do it to anybody.
If the Democrats
we give them an inch and they take a mile.
If the Democrats get back in November, all bets are off. All bets are off.
You think there's still a chance?
I have to believe there's still if I don't, we're done. We're doomed. We're doomed as a country.
We're done.
We can't keep going down this path.
So now you wonder why I want to take all of our money and buy shit.
But how do people? I just don't understand how people don't see this. People have to start seeing this.
People in Florida don't even know about the border. Everybody is in their bubble, and if it doesn't affect their bubble, nobody sees it.
Everybody's been
I'm
affected
glad social media is great, but
everybody's been affected by gas prices. Everybody's been affected by inflation.
But everybody's just going to think, oh, that's just what it is. That's just what it is.
And that's how
they're not
that's
gonna
how they
look
win
in to
control.
See why? Of course, they already have control.
That's how they win control, little by little.
Did you see?
No, probably not. I've been busy the last couple of days, so I probably didn't.
Well, you saw more shit than I saw. So I was reading. Sorry, the aha makes me burp. So I was reading this thing about, remember the Second Amendment and the last election where everything was censored?
Yeah.
So it's in the Supreme Court. It's going to fucking pass. That Biden was okay with censoring everything. That's our first. It's going to
happen again.
That's our first big. It's still happening because this hasn't passed, saying that you can't censor social media because that is still a freedom of speech. But it's gonna pass. There's like all but 2 judges are voting to pass it
and
say that nothing was wrong.
I guess there was another gun legislation that was trying to get pushed through, and I don't know what it was.
I don't remember, but I remember hearing a gun thing was going through.
I mean, they're trying to disarm us, of course, And,
so buy more guns.
And
I do need to go see Aaron on Saturday and buy those ammo he was trying to send me home with today.
So my next video I'm going to play,
saying.
and I think it's okay.
Aaron, I'm coming for you.
It's okay to get to it now. It's a long video. But it's worth the watch.
It's good.
It's worth the watch.
It's my kind of crazy.
I don't ever play.
It's not your kind of crazy.
I don't ever play 3-minute videos on the show because I just think they're too long. But I think what he has to say is very powerful, and I think it's what a lot of Americans,
very true.
A lot of Americans are feeling. And we talk about the silent majority not being silent anymore. This is a great example of that.
Absolutely, because I 100% could see that,
especially if Trump doesn't win. So there's a podcast called Timcast IRL podcast.
So you remember that commercial, that advertisement for that discount on that body armor?
Yeah,
just saying.
10%.
10%. Just saying.
So it's a new podcast I started watching. It's called Timcast IRL. Timcast IRL podcast. Good podcast. They have some really good guests on there. He's pretty popular, but this is what he said. Like I said, it's about 3.5 minutes long. But I think it's worth the watch and us discussing after. So here it is.
Watch it.
My fear last year or the year before, and I was saying this, is that it comes to the point where maybe in Nebraska or in Nevada or something, New Mexico, a small town just decides federal law doesn't apply to us anymore. We don't know what's going on in Congress. Nothing's getting done. Our border is under attack. You get a small town, maybe it's 1,000, 2,000 people. They have a city meeting where a quarter of the population shows up and everyone's yelling and rabble, rabble, rabble. And then a couple guys who are local militia guys just say, we are not going to sit around and wait for the feds to deal with this when we have criminal aliens invading our country, bringing drugs and violence. We need to set up checkpoints now and figure it out later. That's what happens. That's what you get. My fear is that eventually there will be a truck trying to come for a delivery through the highway, and there's going to be 4 guys, just militia guys, and they're going to put their hands up, stop the truck, and say, what can I do for you?
See, this is the problem with anarcho-tyranny, is that the government would immediately send the army to go take care of that
Not
issue.
if it happens all over the place. My point is confidence, not a single group of individuals in one place. If confidence breaks that the U.S. government is no longer enforcing the law, which is exactly what we're seeing with Donald Trump, this comes next year, right? And maybe not totally wrong. It's just a hypothetical. Potential scenario based on the probabilities. If Donald Trump loses, you already have, over the past 4 years, what is it, 70% of the Republican Party saying Trump actually won and Joe Biden's not the president. What do you think happens if Joe Biden wins again with this on the border, with the border literally being attacked? People in Texas are going to start saying, we need to start enforcing this ourselves. There's no government. When you have hordes of non-citizens coming in your community, sleeping in your streets, there's rape, there's murder, Laken Riley, for instance, you're going to get some guys who just say, here's what we do. We go to our street corners. We have neighborhood watch patrols guard our neighborhoods. We get radios and we make sure these people don't come in. Then when someone comes in for a delivery, they stop and say, what can I do for you? Say, I'm here with the delivery. What's your delivery? Where are you going? Who are you going to? Okay, you're cleared to enter.
No.
They
open up the back of the truck. Let's take a look before you let you in.
Absolutely. And then they say, sorry for stopping you, man. But with everything we're seeing on the border, this starts in Texas. It'll happen in Oklahoma. The federal government will not be able to do this. There are not enough federal law enforcement or U.S. military personnel, not to mention they couldn't under Posse Comitatus anyway. There's not enough federal law enforcement to be able to go across the country if even 100 of these scenarios begin to emerge, where people in their local communities feel like the government isn't functioning anymore. And it can start very simply, but it can start overnight. You've got Congress, impotent, unable to get anything done. The border is being overrun. Everyone knows. Democrats in Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, all major cities are screaming about this. You've got people in the black community in Chicago screaming at Democrats saying, we are being replaced. While the media is claiming that if you say you're being replaced, you're a white supremacist. The system is not functioning anymore. So I fear it's only a matter of time now, especially as we're entering the warmer months, and this is going to crank up dramatically, that it's going to be 7 guys in a small town here, 15 guys in a small town there. They're going to say, I don't care about Tim Pool. I don't care about Crowder. I don't care about Rogan. I don't care about CNN. I don't care about Trump. I don't care about Biden. All I know is some guy came and murdered my neighbor's kid. And then they're going to set up their neighborhood watch, and you're going to have pockets of sovereign self law enforcement in their own communities. Local police departments will probably be on board with a lot of these groups, and they'll start defying federal law more than they already do.
Interesting. That's an interesting point. I mean, I don't by any means advocate violence. That's not what I'm about. But
you tell me right now in our neighborhood. Now anybody who's been to our house knows we're kind of off from the neighborhood in our own little way. Like, we're kind of our own little outskirt in our niche. But if somebody in our niche got hurt from somebody like that and illegals are sleeping on the streets, tell me when the neighbors walked around and knocked on doors and said, what time do you want to sign up to watch? You wouldn't be there.
If it was to protect our community, I would.
It starts that simply. Somebody's neighborhood, something. You have these old little country towns, these old little country cities. They're not going to go for all that jazz.
I mean, vigilantism is illegal. You can't be a vigilante.
But it's not a vigilante.
But the problem
you're protecting your area. You're making people not come in.
Right. The problem becomes when that mindset happens, where you literally think and feel the government's not working. It's not doing what it's supposed to do.
It's not.
And
you feel like it's doing something now?
No, I don't. But when I talk about waking the silent majority, that's what would wake the silent majority. And those are the people that would do this. Those are and he's right. He's right in the fact that
it's literally going to happen overnight.
If it happened in one area and 5 guys did it, it would be shut down the next day.
But
Granted.
that idea that it happened
but it would spread.
Will start up everybody else.
Right. I think
you'll stop the first.
I think that's more likely to happen than a civil war.
That is going to be the Civil War because people are going to start shooting and fighting, and it's only going to go from there.
No, because all they're doing is protecting against the illegals. That's what they're protecting against.
They're protecting their area from everybody, from the government.
But civil war would be us fighting each other. I mean, and
I don't think we'd fight each other. We don't have anybody to fight.
Yeah.
Right? Who are we going to fight? The Democrats going to stand on the other side with their fucking pink tassels and rainbow signs?
And I agree with him. I don't think you think, but the Pinal County Sheriff, if we had people getting murdered and the illegals,
we already had it.
But I'm saying
not from illegals,
more
but
so.
Yes.
I'm saying that's what I'm saying. Yeah, more illegals coming in, more creating issues in our city, in our town. Do you think the Pinal County Sheriffs would have any problem with that?
Nope.
That's why
standing on their front doorstep themselves.
Why do you think Sheriff Lamb put out that thing a year ago to build this posse?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
And why do you think he's been fighting for the border every single day?
I'm not law enforcement, Dad. You were, Arthur, you've been around it. I don't know what the cops would do. I don't know if they would go along with those little militias protecting their towns.
I mean, if you're not hurting people, I don't know.
And that's the key. That's the key is, you can't incite violence, but if somebody's going to come into your neighborhood causing shit,
you're just stopping people from coming in.
Yeah.
And especially once these people start squatting in neighborhoods, people are going to lose their shit.
That's what I'm saying. So you have these illegals out there advocating to go take homes, let's go invade these homes, right?
Because they're free.
And now you have nothing's being done about the border.
Nope, they're just coming in more.
This is all a recipe for disaster.
Well, and once you start squatting, you're going to have these houses that are 50, 100, 200 people in this house. This room could have 50 people laying in one room.
Yeah, it wouldn't be uncommon.
No, not at all. It's better than sleeping on the streets.
Yeah. Yep. But that's the rationale they use. The rationale is so they're not a burden to society, so they're going to go steal people's houses.
Yep.
Where's the logic in that?
Yep.
Yeah. And these are people that want to come over and make better lives for themselves.
Oh yeah, they're just here to be better.
They want to be Americans?
Yep.
I don't think so.
Yep.
I don't think so.
So what are you doing squatting in this house for years and years? You're just going to get a job?
So I believe that Americans have the right to defend themselves at all costs, no matter what.
Absolutely.
I did come across this, which was kind of interesting. I think we talked about it with the attorney that we had on. It's called the Arizona Castle Doctrine. I was going to put it up here for you to read. It basically talks about that, and it's kind of interesting. So it says, notwithstanding any other provision in this chapter, a person is justified in threatening to use or using physical force or deadly physical force against another person if the person reasonably believes himself or other person to be in imminent peril of death or serious physical injury, and the person against whom the physical force or deadly physical force is threatened or used was in the process of unlawfully or forcefully entering or had unlawfully entered or forcefully entered a residential structure or occupied vehicle, or had removed or was attempting to remove another person against another person's will from the residential structure or occupied vehicle.
So this is when like people start pulling people from cars,
Right.
pulling people from houses. Yep.
Well, I think it even goes to the point. There's an A and B section of this too that I didn't put up here, so it'd just be too much. But it applies the same thing if somebody breaks into your home. That's your residence.
Yep.
If somebody breaks into your home,
Absolutely. They have
So-
to come in with a weapon though.
Yeah.
Unless they try to come in and drag you out, and then you can.
I mean, there's a lot of gray area in what somebody deems their life in danger, right? I mean,
It's all perspective.
if somebody breaks into my house, guess what?
My life's in danger.
They're not coming in to get milk and cookies,
They're not
right?
coming in to pet the dogs.
right? I mean, they're coming in to do me harm.
You're coming in with an
So,
intent of something.
Whether they have a weapon or not, I don't know if they have a weapon. Maybe they do. Am I going to give them a chance to pull that weapon on me?
Maybe they just had one in their hand. You never know.
Yeah.
Maybe you didn't see it.
Possibly.
You know, it happens.
So Dad says, in my day, police would back the neighborhood as long as it was organized with safety and security for that purpose, not
Yep.
just a bunch of roaming vigilantes.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. If you're standing there protecting your area, standing outside your streets, sure. But if I'm wandering around looking for hoodlums, that's different.
But what's your thoughts? I'm curious to the audience. So you guys can rumble. You guys can answer this too. The fact that he said you would build little militias in your town to protect to basically a neighborhood watch. Do you guys agree with that? You guys agree with that? That should be allowed? I mean, because you know what they're talking about. They're talking about guys walking around with guns. They're talking about guys walking around with AR-15s to protect their subdivision or their little neighborhood. Do you think that should be allowed? Is that considered a vigilante if you're doing that, or are you just protecting your territory? That's my question. At what point does it become a vigilante act?
Vigilante is when you're going out stopping people from crimes. If I'm standing there at my front, you're deterring yourself.
But if you're a neighborhood watch, or you technically are stopping crimes, right? What if you catch somebody in the act?
Then you shoot them.
You call the police?
I mean, you can. My answer is always incorrect, so don't listen to me. You stop the crime.
If it's multiple invaders in your home and just you, it's easy to justify. Yeah, I agree. 100%. You're outnumbered. You could be out-weaponed.
Oh, yeah, that's easy.
Yeah.
If it's just one-on-one, you have to make sure he has a weapon.
I mean, what if I don't know, what if what if you're home alone, right?
If I'm home alone?
Let's say your car's in the garage. No, I'm giving the
sorry.
squatter example here, okay?
Oh, we're going squatter. I'm so sorry. I thought we were.
What if I'm out of town for a week?
Yeah.
And you're home. You don't go anywhere. Your car's in the garage. It looks like our house is empty, right?
Yeah.
What if they just break into your home?
Then you shoot them.
That's what's going to start to happen.
People will die.
That's what's going to start to happen.
And then we thin out our immigration problem. I'm good with that.
It should have started already. Everyone has a right to protect their property and their lives. 100%. I agree.
But those aren't the situations, because these guys are watching properties. They're not just walking up to it. They're watching it for days and days. They're making sure nobody's there before they go in.
But it's so simple. I mean, let's say you and I take a trip to Ohio for 2 weeks, and,
Yep.
mom and dad come over and watch the dogs a couple times a day.
But the dogs are here.
But if somebody's watching the house, then they're not always going to know that, though.
Well, no,
They're going to watch the house.
but they'll hear the dogs.
They could. It's a possibility.
When they go up
Maybe
to the
not.
door, they'll hear the dogs.
Yeah, possibly.
I'm assuming that they're smarter than this in their crimes that they're making.
What makes you think they're not going to break in the house and kill the dogs?
They could, but then they're not squatting.
I just think
Because I don't think that that they're like open lived-in homes. Again, that's what I'm getting from the video. They're saying to go to abandoned houses. Abandoned houses are going to be a house that's up for sale, a house that truly is abandoned, a house that you're not living in, not those ones that you come and go to every 6 months or their Airbnbs or whatever.
Let's
Again,
be realistic, though. Once you start down that path,
I know.
once
but
you
I'm saying
allow that
right
to
this
happen,
second,
at how much? Give an inch, take a mile,
I
right?
know.
I mean,
typical Democrats.
where does it go from there?
It goes everywhere.
We
It goes
can't-
into anything.
We shouldn't allow this to happen, period, because this
No,
is going
but
to
we're
lead
going
into
to.
other things. That's
We're
my
going to.
that's
We're
my
absolutely
point.
going to. We're not going to stop. But again, this is going to start with those homes.
Yeah. It's already started.
That's already.
Look what he said. He already knows friends that took over 7 homes.
And where are those owners? And where are the police? And where are the neighbors saying, hey, this? But again, you go, and he looked like he was in a nice little country town.
Mm-hmm.
You go to those country towns, and the house that's on 3 acres by itself, nobody's going to know that there's 50 people living in that house.
He probably literally just came over the border.
I don't know. It looks really pretty.
It did kind of, but I don't know. There's a lot of.
But again, you go to little Oklahoma country town, right?
Yeah.
You're on 3 acres by yourself. No, like I said, nobody's going to know that anybody's even in that house, even your neighbors.
I'll see all your ballpark frames.
I know. Don't leave them in the fridge.
Those bastards.
Fuckers. But you could not even know, like us, our neighbors, we would notice it. Hey, there's a lot of people there. Hey, there's other people there and the house has been empty or it's up for rent, or the house on the corner that's empty. We had people coming and going from there. We'd realize.
No such thing as an owned property. Someone or some company owns the home. If not, it's not up for grabs.
An unowned is what I think he meant. No, it is, but that's what I'm saying. It could be empty. It's not owned. Somebody has to always.
But like I said, it could be a situation where somebody has a vacation home and 6 months out of the year it stays empty.
Very well could be. But that's what I'm saying. If it's an empty property and nobody's there and nobody sees you, you're not going to know. It's going to be up to the neighbors that are going to say something.
Right.
But if you're on acres and acres and nobody sees your house, you're never going to know.
And that's where those
squatters are going.
Neighborhood watch comes in.
Yep.
Right.
Go and check the house, check everybody's stuff. Okay, we're good. Go to the next one.
We had an incident probably back in 2011, maybe 2012, where when I lived in the other house, there was a bunch of neighborhood kids going around just causing mischief. Like this guy had a truck like your truck, collectible truck, and he parked it out in front of his house. They threw a Molotov cocktail and burned his truck. It was destroyed. They were doing.
Can you imagine?
You'd lose your shit.
Oh my God. I would throw those fuckers in there and burn them with it and sit out there with the fucking marshmallow.
But there were people.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Like that just fires me up.
They were doing that. They were going around to your power box on the outside and
I don't give a shit about
shut the main power off to your house. They were doing all kinds of weird shit.
Turn the power off in my house and see if I don't come out with the fucking pew pew. You better run fast.
My point being, there was neighbors, and we talked because we met on the streets and talked to people. There were people sitting out in their vehicles overnight with guns, waiting for those kids to show up.
I'd have parked my old truck right out there and just fucking waited for them.
And these are kids.
I'd have been the bait.
Yeah, these are stupid teenagers.
Well,
the things that they would do.
Then their parents will bury them cheap because the casket will be small.
They did get arrested finally. They got caught.
They're lucky they. Oh my God. Can you imagine that? Just.
Yeah.
Oh.
They wrote, I felt bad.
This is the one they did to your neighbor or whatever,
there was a Hispanic couple that lived a couple houses down. They were the nicest old couple. I mean, they had to be in their mid-70s. They were the nicest people.
Like little
they were
grandpas.
so sweet. These kids wrote.
They're picking on grannies?
They wrote whore on their driveway with mustard.
Oh, that don't come off.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if you know that, but mustard does not come off. It stains concrete almost
don't come off.
Permanently.
So can I write hooker?
So the HOA actually, I give props to the HOA. They actually paid to have their driveway redone because of it, because they couldn't get it off.
Yeah, you can't get it off.
But it's things like that sparks people to, form their own little militias and protect their properties. I'm
still fired up about that.
And like Dad said, we have a right to protect our property and our own lives.
And you have the possibility to protect your own by not lighting people's trucks on fire.
Yeah, not being stupid. The second one, Andrea.
Hooker.
That whore, yeah. Yeah, it was very sad. I knew these people very well. They were the sweetest people you can imagine. And she was in tears. She was in tears about it. It was bad. It got bad for a while. But
can you imagine if they did that to mom and dad? I would be like, you better watch out. This little lady can't catch you, but she's riled up. She can only go as far as her tube, but she'd get you. Better watch out.
Yeah, it's.
She'll be like, here, have some cookies.
I just want people to know.
I can't even like.
I want people to know that are watching the show, and anybody new watching the show. It's so important, this election. It really is. If we want to keep our country and keep, get back what we should have, we got to take it back. We really do. It's no time to fool. I've heard since Obama, I've heard, oh, this is the most important election ever. This is the most important election ever. This truly is important. This truly is the most important election.
Can you imagine Biden in 4 years?
Can
you imagine Biden in 1 year? He can't even talk now.
So the talks now are in May that the Democrats are going to kick him off the ballot and put Newsom in his place.
Oh God.
That's what I'm hearing. That's the rumblings I'm hearing. We cannot let any of them win. None of them.
But how can he if Gavin Newsom didn't get voted in? He can't be kicked out.
I think they can. I think they can if the Democrats feel like they're going to lose, they can remove him off the ballot. They can put somebody else in his place.
But he didn't get voted in.
I don't know. They're all talking about it.
I don't know how that works. I thought you had to go through all the primaries and everything to be the representative.
Up to what point and Dad, you might know this. Up to what point can they replace the candidate? Is it too late now that the primaries are over? Or
because that's who you voted as your person.
Or is there a condition where they can?
Like the other people can still.
But there might be a condition where they can replace him.
When you're president, when your runner's incompetent.
Well, I mean, his age, his health, his cognitive ability could be a factor. They can play that card. I don't know what the rule is on that.
He was just as stupid when y'all voted him in 2 years ago.
Does anybody in the audience know the rule? I mean, at what point can they replace him? Because I'm telling you, I've heard this on several occasions.
But after he gets voted in, they can replace him. Once he's president, they can change him out.
They're talking about May. They're talking about in May, him getting pulled off the ballot.
I don't know how you can do that.
There's got to be a way. If everybody's talking about it, there's got to be a way to do it.
Have you met him?
I don't know
Democrats, they'll make a fucking way.
I don't know enough about elections to know what the rule is.
But I know, write it in. I'm going to sign it in for you.
The executive order.
Oh, my executive order.
No, nobody's commenting on it. So I'm not sure, but I know I've heard it on 6 different occasions now that they're talking about him potentially being removed.
Where's Newsom live?
California.
Is he near Pelosi? Can we find those neighborhood kids and send them over there?
It's important. If it's a medical condition, a question of commons, or a person has violated rules.
Has broken the law.
Okay. So that's how they can.
Well,
so maybe they'll let.
But I hate to say it.
So maybe they'll let him be found guilty with Hunter Biden.
I always thought he was going to be the fall guy.
Right.
Ooh, that's good. Because you can't really bring up his mental cognizance because it hasn't changed. He's been dumb this whole time. You can't be like, oh, now he's incompetent. No, bitch, he's been like this the whole time. Like nothing's new. He still can't walk. He still's always looking for ice cream. Like he still has no idea what he's doing.
I didn't think about I did think about the medical condition. I didn't think about if he
broken the
law. So with the trial going on right now with Bob Lewinsky, if he does
might just magically become guilty.
Be found guilty and they replace him. Either way, the option's not good.
But then they have to replace him now. If he's found guilty, he can't be president now. Right? Like they would have to remove him from his post, which means we get stuck with
then we get Kamala
hookerish
until January because they don't swear him until January. But either way, the option's not good.
How much shit
on
can
the
that
Democrat
woman get us
side
in?
because they have nobody. They really have nobody. They have Newsom. they really have nobody.
They have Buttigieg,
and
he'll take one for the team
unless Michelle Obama runs, but I don't think so. There's talks about that too.
You don't need another black man in office.
I've heard that 3 times. Yeah. Yes, Democrats.
No, they make shit up as they go along.
But this is.
But why are we letting them make shit up as they go along?
Because nobody's fighting it.
Do we need to yell louder?
No, we need to vote. We need to get out and vote.
You still think that's going to make a difference?
If it doesn't, we're done. Period.
It's not going to, because they're still going to cheat like they did last time. It's not going to make a difference.
Then we just toss in the towel. You're not setting a good example for people to go out and vote.
Well, I'm going to go vote. I just don't think it's going to make a fucking difference.
Then that's not a bad image to be putting out there. That is a bad.
They already cheated in Arizona.
I get the fact that they already cheated, but if we don't do something soon, we're done as a country.
Something we need
Our
to
country
do
is on a precipice of falling.
It is, absolutely. We're on the precipice of being invaded and everything else because we're a fucking joke.
That's why I played all these videos tonight. Not because I want to drum up old news, but it's important to keep putting it out there in front of people. Because I honestly believe, yeah, but when has an independent ever won? That's the thing.
No, because they'll put him under a Democrat.
He's not really a Democrat though. He's independent.
They'll put him under there though, and he'll take it. Oh, I agree. We got to try. I don't think the voting is going to make a difference, though. We have to come up with something else.
I mean, RFK I think would be a better choice, but I agree with that, Andrea, 100%. Vote in person.
Yeah,
get your ass out there, go to the voting poll. And vote.
We should have done it. We should have not had our IDs and seen what they did. Truly.
Yeah.
Not to be a total dick, but I kind of want to. Like, oh, I'm so sorry I forgot my ID. When they tell me I can't vote, bust out my fucking rule book and be like, I'm illegal, I can vote.
Well, why do you think the whole push to give illegals IDs? That was the whole push back when they wanted to do that.
But why are they doing now? IDs. They're telling you now you don't even need an ID.
Because they keep moving the goalposts. That's the thing. They keep saying now they're saying, oh, you don't need an ID. It's bullshit.
So how do you vote then? Because they have to write down who you are to show how many people.
My dad said they don't play by the rule. There's no rules for them.
Nope. We just let them. That's
and they move the goalpost.
We let them do it.
That's because the voices that should be screaming the loudest are not the ones screaming the loudest. That's because we keep getting shut down. We keep getting censored. The people who do try to bring the stuff to light are getting censored. They're getting kicked off. Or they
magically disappear.
Right, exactly. And I honestly, if I can almost bet that if Trump doesn't win and Biden gets back in, you're not going to see this show next year. We will get canceled.
Oh, 100%
will get canceled.
Rumble will be gone. Twitter's going to be gone. All that shit's
We're not a threat to anybody because we don't have millions of followers.
Nobody. Yeah.
So as far as anybody harming us, I don't think that's going to happen.
It'll come down to we'll be getting disappeared.
But we will
and
get.
If we keep pushing.
Oh yeah, the big voices have millions and millions of followers. Yeah, that's a potential.
Woo.
But I wouldn't see our show lasting if Biden gets back in.
If Biden gets back in.
Or any Democrat gets
back in. If any Democrat gets back in, it doesn't really matter because there's going to be a lot of shit that changes. We might not have all what we have.
Right.
So it won't even come down to freedom of speech. We might be fighting for something else.
Scary stuff, guys. Scary stuff.
Be on Neighborhood Watch.
Yeah, it's
a machete. We need to buy some more machetes.
I don't think
bullets run out.
I don't think 10 years ago I would have thought we'd be having these conversations.
Yeah, you think the world's good.
But 10 years ago, no, I didn't think that.
10 years ago, you still thought the world was good.
Yeah. 24, even with Obama in office, as much as I didn't like Obama, I didn't think this way. I didn't think,
the world was ending.
Right.
No, because they started pushing the goalpost.
Goalpost?
Yeah, that too.
Goalpost. I thought he was wrong for our country, and I thought he is the reason our country's so divided.
Why he started the division, 100%.
But there's no way I would have thought, hey, let's put a militia together to protect our neighborhood.
Or let's let in all the fucking illegals.
And the thing is, here's the thing. And I think Arthur can attest to this. It's not like this is the first time that all this has been happening with the border, but it's getting worse.
Well, and it's
getting worse because they're being invited in.
And but it's everybody else too now. Right. Before it was just the Mexicans coming in. Now you have the Asians and the Haitians and everybody else, China and Japan and everything else that's coming in. It's not just the Hispanics coming in, which we've always had, and that is what it is. But now it's all these other countries that are saying, hey, the US is a fucking joke. Let's go there. So now they're shipping them to our borders to come in. That's terrifying.
Well, I always said it. I've never read The Art of War. I probably should.
I think we need to.
But it seems to me that if you want to take over a country, you do it from the inside.
Mm-hmm.
And I I really think that's what's happening. We have between China, between Russia, between ISIS. And by the way, just so if people want to know, when Trump was president, ISIS was almost dead. There was almost no ISIS.
No, they're
and now they're rebuilt again. And I think Hamas is just another part of ISIS. I mean, we're just, it's all bad. It's all bad.
And they're here. It's all bad. No.
It's funny. I at one time believed that.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Everybody worshiped him. People were talking about, getting chills up their spine when they thought about Obama. I mean, the shit you heard about Obama. Oh yeah, it was
that's because he was the first
place.
Black president.
No, but he was.
This is going to be great. He was a good fucking talker.
He was a fantastic speaker.
It's a great talker.
It's a fantastic speaker, and people worshipped him.
I was going to say something really naughty, but I'm not going to say it.
And if you read the Bible, the Antichrist is somebody who people prophesize, right?
People prophesize so many people, though.
But I don't know.
I don't think he is.
I agree with Dad on that. I really do. I believed back then. I said that. I said he was the Antichrist. Sure. And I remember the whole thing about, what was it, the Bible series where they made the devil and everybody said it looked like Obama,
Yes, I do.
He did kind of look like Obama, but I'm not going to lie. But I don't think that was the intention of the writers. But
no, it was just the guy who made it.
But
somebody pissed off the makeup guy and they were like, watch this fucker.
But the thing is, it's scary nevertheless.
It's scary to think about. So again, like they were talking about earlier, I think that it's not going to be, like you said, a civil war. I definitely don't think, you know how I feel what's going to happen with voting, but I'll be there. I'm all for it. I'm still pushing for the right side. I don't think it's going to go the way y'all want it to go. I think it's going to go a different way, but that, it's fine.
I will never advocate violence. I'm just not for that. But I'm telling you that if
but he'll be standing behind me. Who will be?
If somebody else gets into office other than Trump, you're going to see. This country's going to go to
ridiculously crash.
Yeah, it's going to be.
So it's going to come down to, again, I don't think it'll be the Civil War. I think it's going to be more neighborhood stuff. And then you're going to get everybody riled up in the neighborhood, and one neighborhood's going to get with another neighborhood, and then they're going to start expanding, and then it's just going to grow. And
no, the other thing I think you'll see, and we've been talking about it a little bit on the show, I really think you're going to see states start to secede from the union.
Absolutely should.
I think
you're going to get to that point because people are going to be made to.
Because I think Texas already has enough votes to do it if they wanted to.
Oh, easily.
And I really think that's the way it's going to go.
As it should. Texas, New Mexico, Arizona would all be one. We got your border, baby.
But that's scary too.
It's great.
It's scary though, because what if Biden declares war on Texas?
Let's fucking do it.
Not part of the United States anymore.
Let's do it.
Right? I mean, it can go one of two ways. It could be very dangerous.
It can go either way.
And it could be.
But I can tell you right now, you got a lot of military in Texas.
You do.
I don't know if it's more than what you think you got. I'm just saying.
Like I said, we shouldn't even be having these conversations. We should be talking about stupid shit like Dylan Mulvaney making a music video. I mean, that's the stuff we should be talking about.
That's just terrifying.
But now we have to talk about this. Yeah, Texas would absolutely be first. They would be the first ones to go. They've talked about it for years now.
And then the South. Yep, I think it's all going to be that bottom.
Yep.
Then I think it'll spread up in the middle. Still keep some outskirts, but I think
California and New York will be on their own.
Yeah, pretty much. Portland, Oregon will be on its own. South Dakota, North Dakota. Yeah, I think we'll be.
Yeah.
I think it'll be okay. But then what do you do once everybody's on their own and the U.S. is California and New York?
What do you mean, what do you do?
What do you do once all the states are on their own? Once you have nobody else but California and New York, because everybody else left the U.S. Like, do the states rise together and build back better? Oh my God! If I get to become president and build back better, that'd be fucking great.
So
who's with me?
I want to end with a happy story. We're almost out of time. But I thought I sent you. I thought I sent you the name of the place, but I don't think I did.
Oh, you didn't send me the name.
See if I might have taken a picture of it.
You just sent me that they did.
So,
because you were at lunch?
Yeah, I was at lunch. I know I took a picture of the place. Let me see. I got to.
It wasn't that long ago. Did you really take a picture of your room number?
I always do. Case I forget.
How many room numbers do you have saved in your photos? Probably
Shit.
a lot.
I'm really upset that I didn't take a picture of the place. So anyway, I was in Florida. I was in Jacksonville. And
was this your little Cuban place?
No. So I was with the customer and we decided to go out to lunch to a barbecue place. Walked in the barbecue place, really cool place. Had all military and police all over the place. It was great.
They were all there eating and everything?
No, they just had pictures everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah. American flag everywhere, such a cool place. But
it's a barbecue place. So
something happened while I was in line getting my food, which I didn't realize what was happening because it doesn't happen that often, and it threw me for a loop. I'm getting my tray. All of a sudden, the entire restaurant comes to a dead stop, and
you were like, "Are we dying?"
It took me a minute to realize what was happening. They were playing the national anthem, and everybody stopped what they were doing, had their right hand over their heart.
How do you do that with your tray?
And listen to, I put my tray down. Instantly put my tray down.
I was like, don't drop your barbecue.
I was floored. I mean, it was such a surreal feeling because it just doesn't happen anymore.
Mm-mm.
And, I had asked the waiter, I said, is there a game on or something? Is this something? He goes, no, we do this every day at noon.
That's awesome.
Every day at noon, they play the national anthem. The place comes to a halt. Like nobody makes a sound.
Done.
Everybody's got their hand over their heart. All the patrons do. It was the coolest feeling in the world. I mean,
That's just so cool.
For that moment, I just felt.
We need to talk to OEB and see if they'll do it.
I felt so patriotic for that moment, and I was like, "Fuck yeah!
This is what we need.
This is America.
This is what we need to start doing, though."
And I just got that glimpse, and it was such a. The feeling came over me. It's a national anthem. I hear it a million times, but just the fact,
Everybody
to watch the plays come to a dead stop, and everybody had their hand over their heart. It was so overwhelming to me.
Well, and then you have the hustle and the bustle. Like there's always a noise and there's always something.
Literally, the cook stopped. The place just got silent. And it took me a minute to realize what was going on because I'm facing the counter. I got my tray, getting ready to walk back to my table. I'm like, what the hell's going on? I turn around. I see the TV's on, the flag, national anthem's going. I'm like, oh shit. So I immediately turned around, put the hand on my arm.
What are you doing?
And it was just that overwhelming feeling. It was so cool.
Well, and again, for you who's not there, I mean, all the regulars, all the workers all know what's coming, but you not knowing, you're like,
you tell me when the last time that's happened to you.
Never.
When's the last time you were somewhere? The only thing I could remember
a place like never.
There was a bar I used to play at that at midnight they would do that.
Oh, that's cool.
They would play the national anthem. Everybody would stop what they were doing.
That's neat.
And that was the last time I ever saw anything like that happen.
How many years ago was that?
20 years ago.
Yep.
Literally
because we've chosen to take it out.
Right. Yeah.
We've chosen to stop that.
That was. I wish I knew the name of the place because I'm sorry I didn't write it down now because they deserve recognition for that.
We'll get back to you next time.
I'll find the name of the place. I'll find the name of the place and we will absolutely put it up next week because they deserve all the recognition for that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I thought that I had took a picture and sent it to you, but I must not have.
No, you just sent me your other stuff because I asked you if you took a picture of it.
No, that wouldn't happen in California. 100%.
But we need to have people start doing this. Like
100%.
if I was a business owner, I would absolutely do it.
100%. It's infectious. It really is. I mean, because even if you don't believe in what it stands for, if you're the only asshole in that place not doing it,
not listening,
somebody's looking at you.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be very uncomfortable.
You, so your ass is going to stop.
Yep, 100%.
We did it all in school. We said the pledge. I don't even know if they do it
every morning
anymore. Said the pledge of allegiance. Listen to the national anthem. We did that every morning.
Every morning.
So anybody who's over 30 will stop.
Right.
And anybody who's under 30 will know real quick to stop.
They were even young kids had their hand over their heart. I was like,
that's because you have kids that are still raised right.
That's what I said. It was just a surreal feeling, man.
That's awesome.
And it shouldn't be a surreal feel. It should be a common everyday thing, cool. But it was just so cool. And
that's awesome.
I will find the name of them and get back to you guys next week with it because they absolutely deserve recognition for that.
Maybe we pull them up on here.
I think more places need to do that.
That's awesome.
100%.
That's super cool.
So I figured since it was kind of a downer show,
note.
I would down with that. I would, end with that note.
Instead of being doomsday.
Yep.
Good job.
It is what it is. But
shit happens.
Anyway, that's going to do it for us tonight, guys. Really appreciate you guys jumping on with us. Andrew and Arthur, welcome back. We missed you guys so much.
Oh my goodness, so much.
It's great to have you guys back. We're going to do a show again. Arthur, I'm taking you up on going to the border. 100%. I want to go. I want to see it for myself. Next week, Jess can be back on the show next week. I'm going to try to do a fun show for us next week. Talking about stupid people. So it should it should be a lot of fun.
You're going to put stupid people in front of Jack?
Yeah, I just want to try to break away from politics
Lord,
a little bit.
He's going to be nuts.
Do something kind of fun. But, and on another note, it is Easter Sunday coming up. I hope everybody has a very happy Easter. Another point to make is we need to bring Jesus Christ back in our lives. 100%.
Back in our country.
Well, you start with your lives. When you bring it back in your lives, it'll come back into your country.
I know.
So that's
we need all the above.
But hope everybody has a great weekend. We'll see you next week.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Rumble, for joining us. See you next time.
Bye.
See ya.